What's good, Illumineers? My Lorcana fam out there. AZ Aquaman here with another video for you guys. So this video is supposed to be a deck profile, but I want to touch up on a little bit of the shenanigans that happened at the DLC this weekend. I'm going to tell you guys what my opinion is based on what I saw in the video and what was happening. I didn't really want to make another video on this because I just want to tell you guys my quick opinion and just touch up on it, and then we'll go to the deck profile. Well, before that, so this is my second set champ. I went to a set champ last weekend, and Mufasa and I couldn't get it done. We got second. So I was like, we can't end it like that. We got to keep getting the set champ mat run going. So we went to another one, and then Mufasa and I got the W on that one. So, and that's the deck profile that I'm going to do today. I did change up a few cards, a couple cards, and I'll talk about that later. But before that, let's talk about what happened at the DLC this weekend. So, for you guys that don't know about it, I'm sure the whole community a lot of the community knows about it. But if not, there's I'm just going to call it out how it is. And I know a lot of people agree with me on this one. So there's a player, Jesse, and his opponent, I'm going to call him Clement the Rat, because he's a little rat for what he did. So if you guys want to check out the video first on the DLC, just type in Jesse versus Clement Lorcana, and they should have their game streaming. So anyways, with that said, I watched the video. I'm gonna tell you guys my opinion. This is why I call Clement a little dirty rat player. But also, the judge did fuck up royally on that call, by the way. So what happened was, we had Jesse, and he quested with the broom, right? And by the looks of Clement, and Clement has that face that you just like, I don't trust you. That's the vibe I got from him. And then, yeah, so that's my opinion. So Clement looked like he was in trouble, in my opinion, because he had no cards in hand. He got lucky that he even drew into an ink to play the Maui Shark. But so he has no cards in hand. He has a Maui Shark on board and then 2 Tipos. That was his board. And then Jesse, I believe, had 3 or 4 cards in hand and a couple characters on board. And I think he was ahead in lore too. So Clement the Rat looked like he was in trouble, and I think he felt the pressure and he felt threatened, so he had to do the dirty and rule shark this. But anyways, before I get into that, so what Jesse did was, what Jesse did, he didn't do anything wrong. So Jesse quested with the broom, and then he played a goat right after. So goat triggers, broom triggers, goes in the bag. So this is how you can go about this. You can either trigger the broom first, draw the card, and then trigger the goat. And you can even do it vice versa. What Jesse was doing was he triggered the goat first, and then he tried to banish the broom to draw. But then Clement the Rat, he was feeling threatened, and he needed some character by the looks of it. I'm looking at his board. He needed a character to stay exerted so he can run Maui Shark into it. So he called the judge, and then it panned out to the commentators for a few minutes. And then when we got back to the game, I saw that it looks like the judge completely fucked up, because it looked like he ruled in Clement the Rat's favor, because it looked like Jesse wasn't able to banish the broom because it was still exerted. So Clement, the rat that he is, took advantage of that, so he was able to swing at the broom. I mean, let's be honest here, guys. These guys aren't beginners. These guys didn't just start Lorcana. These guys are like high-level players, and come on, let's be honest. They know what's going on. So people aren't stupid, and I know for a fact a lot of people agree with me on this one about Clement the Rat's deal. Like, he was back in a corner, and I've been playing TCG for a while, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, Digimon, Pokemon, and I've I've dealt with a handful of players like Clement the Rat, and what he was doing was he felt threatened. So the only thing he can really do is try to get a judge call on this, and then hopefully he gets lucky. Which it sucks for Jesse because he did get lucky that he ended up with a judge that completely fucked up the call. So, in my opinion, in that point of view, he's trying to, just basically grab whatever he can. And if the judge's call was in Jesse's favor, Clement the Rat, it's just like, oh, okay, I guess we're just going to keep playing this. But in his situation, he called the judge because he's just trying to see if he can get away with something, to be honest with you. And he got lucky and he did get away with it. So that's the shitty part. Yes, the judge fucked up, definitely. But my biggest take on this is like, God, I can't stand like dirty little clown rat players like that, to be honest with you guys. Like, some people might disagree with me, but I know a lot of people will agree with me on this one, that he was a little dirty rat. And Clemens, congrats for cheating your way to victory. Good job, bro. I'm sure everyone's proud of you for doing that. And the other thing too, if you guys keep watching the video, the commentator, when Clement the Rat, I think he used Develop Your Brain. I think it was Develop Your Brain. He looked at the two cards and then it was right on point. The commentator, because it was Scar, the vicious cheater, and then the commentator was saying, "Oh, okay, vicious cheater," and I was just like clapping and laughing because I was like, "Man, that was right on cue." Anyways, that's my opinion on that. I think he's a dirty player for doing that. The goat and the broom scenario, it's like, I get it if you're a brand new player, to be honest with you, but come on, man. Like, these guys are high level players, man. Like, Clement the Rat knew exactly what he was doing. I'm not an idiot. A lot of Lorcana the community and Lorcana players saw what happened. They're not idiots. They know what's happening. So, there might be a few that might disagree with my opinion, but I'm 100% damn sure that people agree with my opinion, that Clement is a dirty clown rat player for trying to pull that shit. And I don't appreciate players like that. So that's the only reason I'm like voicing my opinion on this. And I don't know about you guys, but he's got the face of like someone I wouldn't trust in the first place anyways, like right off the bat. Another thing is, I saw a comment that someone commented back on one of my comments in a Facebook group. Usually I don't go by hearsay or he said, she said kind of thing, but based on what I saw, I'm going to believe this person that commented saying that that Clement guy cheated in a 100-player tournament also, doing some shenanigan things with his shuffling or something like that. But anyways, I believe him based on what I saw, because I mean, let's be honest here, like, that was a dirty ass move. So, and also, before we get to the deck profile, Jesse, I don't think you're gonna see this vid, but bro, like, more respect to you though. Kudos for trying to keep it together and like just honing in and just staying in the zone and continuing to play. I know that was a rough one, but you got screwed, bro. Like, the judge fucked up on a call, and then you were playing against a dirty rat player. So it's like, it is what it is. But I respect you more. Kudos for keeping your composure and just playing through it, man. Like I said, I don't appreciate dirty players like that. And I know a lot of the Lorcana community will agree with me on this one, that you are a dirty snake in the grass. So, yeah. Well, that's my opinion on that. My opinion is very strong on that stand, because I just don't like players like that. Like, it irritates me. So, anyways, okay. Well, that's my opinion on that. Now we're going to move on to the deck profile of my first place Steelfasa deck, with a few changes. Hopefully you guys like it. If you like my contents, please like and subscribe. If not, if you're still watching it, cool, that's fine too. So here we go. onto the deck profile.
All right. Now that I vented my opinion on the shenanigan that happened at DLC, we are going to the deck profile now. Same thing, I'll make it short and sweet. I'll show you the couple cards that I did make the changes, and then I'll explain what happened there. And I'm glad I did make those changes, because the cards that I put in were definitely, I'd say, the MVP. Because they put in work. So anyways, here we go. This is my first place, Steelfasa in the squad. Let's go. All right, standard, we got 4 daisies. Awesome 1-drops. I like playing daisies turn 1 when I'm playing against slower decks, or even when I'm playing, what do you call that? Against Steel Songs, I like to open up with daisies, because especially if I'm on a play. Because knowing that they could possibly open up with Cindy and then, you know, let the storm rage on, I would rather not have my Cindy just get banished for free. So I usually play Daisy and against those decks on turn 1, because you can start questing quick and they can't snipe it out like instantly. So Daisy's awesome. Turn 1, and then later on too, like turn 3, turn 4, if you want to go wider. Daisy's an awesome card to play, especially if you're like just going super wide. You know, you're playing a Cindy, and then you're dropping a Doc, and then discarding your, well, probably you won't have any cards in hand, and then you're drawing 2 cards, and then you play Shmi and a Daisy off those 2. It just gets nutty. So Daisy's not only a good turn 1 play, it's good like mid to late if you want to go wide on board. 4 Cindy's, pretty standard. I've said before, like, it'll depend on the matchup. Like on the play, I definitely would like to have Cindy rather than the daisies. But like I said, I mentioned before, like if you're playing against slower decks, you want to quest out fast. And then if you're, you know, for me, if I'm playing against Steel Song, I would rather have a big body on board, because knowing that if they're playing Steel Song, they're probably going to play a Cindy and then try to snipe out your character. But in general, Cindy's just a good opening card. Yeah, so 4 Cindy's. I said this before. I thought Mr. Shmi was the best 2-drop in the game, but we all know Calhoun's taken that spot. But Shmi is still a badass. He's still a very good card. I think he's still one of the top 2-drops in the game. Just being able to quest for 2, that's a 3/3 body. Yes, I know he gets damage while he's exerted, but there's cards here that could mitigate that, whether you want to, or you can use the advantage of that by using Rapunzel. So just turn 2 Shmi is very strong at turn 2, or even when you go, you know, wider later on in the game. Just him being a 2-drop that could quest for 2, that's a 3/3 body is awesome. So Mr. Shmi at 4. Another 4 obs here. Piglet. For me personally, like, I never, unless I really have to, or if I'm playing against Ruby, Sapphire, or slower decks, I love dropping Piglet turn 2, because, you know, by turn 3 he's going to be able to quest big. But in general, I like Shmi turn 2, or maybe Calhoun turn 2, if we need to have like a character and a steady defender to really make your opponent think about questing. But a lot of the times, unless I'm playing against slower decks, or if I really don't have a choice, I wouldn't even play Piglet turn 2. I'd play turn 2 Shmi, and if I don't have a turn 3 play, and I have a Piglet, that's probably when I'll just drop the Piglet and then quest, so I don't have my Shmi damage. But a lot of the times, yeah, I'm playing Piglet like later games. What's up, buddy? All right, you need to get off the table. You're not allowed to be on the table. A lot of times, unless I'm playing slower decks, Piglet I'll play later on just to go wide, because if they don't answer Piglet, you're going to be questing for 3, which is big. And if they do use resources to answer Piglet that turn, that's fine too, because now you have other characters that they didn't have to deal with that you can still quest out. So yeah, there's times where, you know, you should utilize Piglet, but a lot of the times I don't use turn 2 Piglet unless I really have to. Or like I said, it depends on the matchup. If you're going against slower decks, Piglet's awesome turn 2, especially if you're on the play. And I think the best 2-drop in the game right now, Calhoun. I'm running 4. You drop Calhoun, like I said, depending on the matchup as well. I tend to do Mr. Shmee, but depending on the matchup, or what card you have in hand, I do like dropping Calhoun. Also, if you do have a lot of uninkables, you might want to ink some of your inkables and then just drop Calhoun, because she is uninkable also. But dropping Calhoun turn 2, it's very good slowing down your opponent, especially if you're playing against an aggressive opponent or an aggressive deck. You drop Calhoun, they just like think twice about questing. So Calhoun's nice. I run 4 of Lilo. Same deal. If she's in my opening hand and, you know, I have either Calhoun or Mr. Shmee, I tend to just ink Lilo. I think Lilo's good like mid to late games. Or if you're using Doc, keeping her in hand and then just discarding your hand so you have Lilo in the discard pile. The only time I will play her turn 2 is like against slower decks, or if I really don't have a turn 2 and she's my only turn 2 turn, I'll probably play Lilo. But majority of the time I treat Lilo like how I treat Piglet. Mid to later on when you know, you want to go wider on board, especially against Ruby Amethyst. Mufasa and Lilo are amazing against Ruby Amethyst because of B prep. So that's how I utilize Lilo. I run 4 Docs because Doc is amazing, especially if you're just going wide, dropping your hand, and then able to drop this and then replenish your hand and get more fuel to drop more characters the following turn. Shmee's just, or not Shmee, Doc, he's too good, man. This is one of my favorite cards, so we run 4. So on to the 3 drops now. 4 Lawrences still, because just a 4/4 body, and he's able to trade off things, or he's able to crash into locations if needed. Just that 4 strength and 4 body is very good. And he's very good at turn 3 because sometimes it makes your opponent rethink about turning their characters, because they're thinking that you possibly have a Rapunzel play turn 4, which they hesitate on turning, because if you have a Rapunzel play turn 4, Lawrence will just eat up a character and then you play Rapunzel to heal him. So yeah, so Lawrence is very good. Pete's very good, very, very good. I still love Pete. Whether I'm playing him turn 3 to stop songs against Steel songs, or like turn 7, you know, going wide and then going turn 7 against Ruby Amethyst, Ruby Sapphire to stop the B preps. Pete is the man. So here is my 2 cards that I added. So I took out my Chenpo, took out the Chenpos, and I ran 2 John Silvers. John Silver absolutely put in work for me this weekend. Just being able to either set up a Cindy and a Shmee, or a Daisy and a Shmee, and just being able to turn and quest hard, and then turn 3, turn off your opponent's Calhoun, and then being able to swing with those 2 characters is big. And then now on top of that, not only did you turn off Calhoun so they can't Calhoun can't challenge your 2 big questers, on the follow-up turn, now you have a 3/3 body that could trade with Calhoun, and on top of that, you can sing your songs, which is you know, let it go, let the storm rage on, or strength the raging fire. So you have a singer, or you have a 3/3 body that could trade off with Calhoun. But John Silver being able to turn off Calhoun on turn 3 while you're questing with Daisy and Shmee, is amazing. And the bonus effect of this, guys, he's a captain. So when you drop him turn 3 and you turn Shmi, and you know, your daisies while turning off Calhoun, Shmi doesn't get damaged because he's a captain. So that's another bonus. Yes, he put in work for me. He was turning off Calhoun like crazy at the tournament. Well, I'm able to quest freely with these 2 big questers. I just turn off Calhoun and then quest away. So John Silver put in work for me big time. Another thing, so this is my song packages. I stayed with the same 4 Strength Raging Fire, and then 4 Let the Storm Rage On. A very good starting card with Cindy, and then just very good card in general because we're lower to the ground, which means we can go wider, and then we can just snipe off bigger characters with this. 3, 4, 5 damage, we can do that. So strength is very good and very powerful with this deck. Like I said, good opener card with Cindy. Next one, we still have the 2 Sven. I actually won a game using Sven. I quested out with like Rapunzel and I think Shmi. I think it was a Shmi. All I know is, and I quested out and then I played Sven and then stood up or readied one of my characters so their guys couldn't challenge that character, and we just won the next turn, the following turn after that. So I think 2 Svens worth it. I mean, at the end of the day, if he comes in too early, or you do have the Pluto and you'd rather play the Pluto, you could always ink him. But Sven, he does what he's supposed to do. So I'm keeping it at 2. Worked well. And we still got to keep up with the bodyguards. I don't have Chenpo anymore. But Pluto Bodyguard just does so much work for a 4-drop that could trade with basically anything right now in the meta. And on top of that, your opponent has they at least have to do 2 things to get rid of this. Whether they have to swing and attack it twice, or use resources and hit him with a song and then run into him. So it's just, he's very powerful turn 4. Pluto's a beast. And of course, one of our MVPs, we can't go without a Rapunzel's. Rapunzel's too good. A 1/5 body that could quest big, that could just heal our guys and then draw. It's Rapunzel. Like, you got to run 4 Rapunzels. And Mufasa, of course. He did his thing. He did some shit this weekend. You know, just him replacing himself is just so good. I tend to ink him early because I think Mufasa shines mid to late game, in my opinion. Unless I really don't have anything to play turn 5, then I will play Mufasa turn 5. But a lot of the times, Mufasa shines mid to late games, in my opinion. Especially when you're playing against like Ruby Amethyst or Ruby Sapphire with their B preps. Mufasa really puts in work because it's just nice for him. A 3/3 body that just keep questing and then replaces himself is very nice. So we're sticking to 4 Mufasas. Well, that's that. That is the first place winning Steelfasa, aka Mufasa, and the squad. So we finally got that W. I'm thinking of maybe going to one more, but the drive's like an hour and a half or so. And I'm mainly just doing that to just honestly get more practice, to be honest with you. That would be the only main reason I would want to compete at one more set champ. So, and that's coming up in a couple weeks. So we'll see how I feel. Right now, very happy with this build. I couldn't believe how much work, guys, like with Calhoun's running around. Oh my goodness, John Silver put in work. And also, there was like a few instances where, you know, your opponent would play a crab already just to maybe crash into things and then pump up something. But yeah, I hit a couple of Merlin crabs with this, so they weren't able to crash into things and pump up something. So, but majority of the time, this John Silver put in work for me against Calhoun. Like, just shutting down Calhoun while being able freely quest, and then having a 3/3 body that could trade with Calhoun or Sing. Yeah, he put in work. I think 2's perfect. I saw it enough because you just really have to use him that one turn. Other than that, that is my Steel Mufasa. Mufasa put in work. Mufasa and the squad did their thing this weekend. So, yeah. Well, if you guys like my content, please like and subscribe. If not, and you still watch my video, it's all good too. Anyways, for the people that do run this list, hope you guys have lots of success with it. I think it's at a very strong spot right now. So Mufasa's not going anywhere. All right, peace out.